morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you. I have to get my mic all situated here. Just a mad scramble to get on this morning. I wanted to get on early so that way we have enough time to discuss all the things that we want to do on the show. It's going to be a great show as usual. We have Nick Gervais getting ready to come on. I know yesterday I misinterpreted her message and it said that she's under the weather and she won't be on, but I thought she meant I'll be on after the weather. And so we're anticipating her being on, but hey, we can have her on today. And she's really busy. She's getting ready to head off on an excursion. And so we know that she's making an effort to come on today. She's not feeling all that well either. So we want to dive right in to the show. We'll start off with a little bit of weather and then we'll be back with her, your comments, news headlines. But first, just to let you know that we are live on CKLU 96.7 FM and CKLU.ca. each and every weekday morning between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. We're also streaming. You can click on the Radio Player Canada app. If you have Firefox, it's going to be extremely easy. If you don't have Firefox, it may be a challenge. I found that I needed Firefox in order to stream CKLU, but that was just me. Maybe you have better luck, but it is what it is. We're also, so make sure to download the Radio Player Canada app, and I think you won't have a problem listening to the show online. We're also live on Facebook.com/Sudbury News, YouTube.com/Sudbury News. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow the platforms. Mainly comment, though, because this is your conversation on your station, CKLU 96.7 FM. We're also found on demand after the show at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter.com/Sudbury News, Sudbury.News, which is our local news aggregator. We offer the community free of charge to promote local stories now that the government legislation has led to not being able to share news on Facebook or Instagram, the two most common ways to share news in this country. Incompetence or on purpose, we're not sure, but, I'm sure, but we'll just leave that up to the public to know what they feel about that. But anyways, we'll be back with Nick Gervais, your comments, and much more right after the weather. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great show, everyone. Okay, yes, and your weather is brought to you by Duck Check, and I think I'm going to have the same problem that I had yesterday. I guess this really doesn't like me doing this on the fly, but at the same time, we can, technology is very, very interesting these days. Sometimes it works one way, sometimes it works another way. But you know what I've learned? Not to get all excited about it, to just go with the flow, and that's what we're doing here. We're thankful for the partnership that we've had with Duck Check for the last month or so. We're not sure how much longer they're going to be with us, but for now, we'll continue to have them as a partner for the weather. And whether or not they want to continue to sponsor is up to them, and we're fine with that either way. We appreciate the time that they were with us, even if it was a short time. But definitely, I'm friends with the owner, and I know that they do a remarkable job, and you can trust them to come to your home and check out your ducks, make sure that they're clean, because you never know what could be building up inside your ductwork. And they offer services in Greater Sudbury, Parry Sound, Muskoka, Huntsville, all through the central part of Ontario. So check them out at DuckCheck, D-U-C-T, check.com. Currently it's 17 degrees, mainly sunny out there. Today we can expect Sunny early in the morning, then a mix of sun and cloud with a 30% chance of showers late this afternoon. And get this, a risk of a thunderstorm late in the afternoon. High of 27, UV index 30. Sorry, the humidex is 30, UV index is 8 or very high. Tonight, partly cloudy, 30% chance of showers early in the evening. Risk of thunderstorm as well. And then clearing this evening at low of 14 overnight. Saturday, sunny, a mix of sun and cloud late in the afternoon. And there'll be a 30% chance of showers with a risk of thunderstorm late in the afternoon as well, with a high of 29. Get this, with the humidex, 34 degrees tomorrow. UV index will be 8 or very high. So again, 30% chance of showers tomorrow on Saturday, 40% chance of showers on Sunday, be around 28 or 29 degrees, and at 26 on Monday with, again, a 30% chance of showers for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 26, 23, 22 degrees for those days. And then Thursday, 25 degrees will be your high, mix of sun and cloud. A look at your satellite. Looks pretty darn clear to me. Same thing as yesterday, it was calling for cloud activity, but yeah, satellite looks pretty clear. That's your Sudbury weather, brought to you by Duck Check. We'll be back with news headlines, your comments, and more right after this. Okay, and as promised, we do have a Nick joining us. I'm just going to have to get your mic working here, Nick. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm good, Aaron, and thanks for having me on the show.
No problem. Your voice sounds better than the message you sent me this morning, so that's good.
Yeah, first thing in the morning, and then some water and some clearing of the throat. Just this weird thing. Like a few days ago, I started getting itch in my throat, and I was like, oh no, like I'm going to Orlando for Sense Convention for a whole week, and it's like an intense week. You know, conventions, it's all about learning. It's lots of people. There's lots going on. You barely eat. You don't know where to eat. You go to a place, you wait in line. You just wait in line everywhere. And, you know, it's a really intense week. And now it's just this crazy cough that just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I may be muting myself to go and cough along a little bit. But that's the only thing. So I'm really grateful that I didn't get anything really else.
Yeah, so but you've been talking a lot too lately, right? Like chatting on video calls and telephone and things like that. So maybe your voice is a little strained as well.
It's true.
You know? So who knows with that?
Could be.
So yeah, exciting times. There's exciting times.
Exciting times.
So Orlando, do you think it's going to be hot in Orlando?
Oh, it's going to be ridiculously hot. I've been to Orlando once before during these times, and it's like insanely hot. Like you do not want to be outside. So it's not fun, but our convention's just always in July. So I bought one of these like little fans that you just put around your neck and it just fans up. I got it on Wish. No, not Wish. It's a really good store there. Not Wish. I got it on Shein. I get a lot of clothes from Shein. It's really expensive clothes.
Probably why I've never used
it. And it's from China, but shipping's really quick and it's good quality. So we'll see. I'll be back on Saturday.
Really?
Going for a week.
Oh, next Saturday. I thought you meant, you're going to come back tomorrow. That's pretty quick.
Short trip. And it's great because it's our 20-year anniversary. And I will be walking the stage for my 10-year. I've been with Sensi for 10 years. I haven't really done anything for 10 years. I'm not a very consistent human being. So this is a really big achievement. And Sensi has been such a big blessing. And I'll just put in a plug for myself right now. If you're looking to make some extra money, or if you buy Sensi right now, you could join Sensi for $26. You get a nightlight. You get a little small kit. And the nightlight alone is $33. So if anybody is interested in making money back on your purchases or making some extra income, because I know these days extra income helps. Also, it's a tax rebate when you join. When you have your own company, you get a lot of opportunities for expenses to bring down your income and get taxes back at the end of the year. So give me a call. I'll leave my information in the comments.
Yeah, I remember, and it is direct selling. It's network
Yep.
marketing, right? And I remember back in the day because there's a lot of people that have had experiences with network marketing, and a lot of them are turned off from previous experiences they've had.
Yeah.
But they used to always start off their presentations to join them with what you just kind of mentioned, the benefits of owning your own business, and then to dream as much as you can about the possibilities of, can you imagine if you could dot dot dot,
Right.
have your own schedule, go on trips,
Yeah.
and
Like
all these things, right?
I get, I just have a great, I have freedom. I can work from home whenever I feel like it. I can create my own schedule. It takes hard work. It's not hard work. It's consistent work that you have to do. Nothing comes easy in life.
Yep.
And this is just one of those things. Of course, there's all different companies that people can join, but people really like the house smelling good. And people are really afraid of fragrance because of phthalates. And Scentsy doesn't have phthalates in their products. And that's one of the things I really like, that they don't have some of these toxic ingredients that most candles have that affect your hormones and reproductive, actually. So that's something that people need to look into their laundry products, because that's going right into your skin, and that is the largest organ that you have, and your body is your temple, and you need to take care of it.
Now get this. I heard one person say before, and I don't even know if it's possible, but anyways, you know how there's different products out there, whether it's bug repellent or sunscreen or, I don't know, tanning products, things we put on our skin, and maybe even makeup, on our
Right.
skin all the
Yeah.
time. But I
Yep.
heard someone say, if you can't eat it, then don't put it on your skin,
Ooh, that's probably true. You know,
because your skin is eating it,
it's
it's
true.
absorbing it. So,
Well, yeah, I saw an Instagram video about a guy. There's tons of bugs over his garden. So he grabbed some bug spray and he sprayed the air so that the mosquitoes can get away. Well, his
yeah.
garden died. And he's like,
Oh,
whoa,
exactly.
I sprayed this on my skin. So I went outside, grabbed the same type of bug spray. It's that green bug spray that we see everywhere. I forget what it's called.
Hmm.
And I just sprayed all my weeds that are growing through my gravel. They all died like 2 hours later.
Yeah, no, you
I was
got to
like,
be careful. Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
we should
And
not be spraying that around
yeah,
us and breathing that in and putting that on our skin.
yeah. And it's amazing how just vinegar and baking soda will do, so many things that chemicals would do, right? Whether it's
Yeah,
people do their laundry with natural things too, and I know it's hard to imagine, but
it's true.
they clean their sinks with baking soda and vinegar. I remember
Yep.
people just using vinegar for the windows. My mom used to use newspaper to clean, like just newspapers and
Right.
vinegar, and it
Well,
would clean the windows perfectly.
we've
Uh,
really lost our ways, Aaron.
yeah,
Like, we would be saving so much more money because there's all natural ways, probably water and citrus and salt or something we could spray on ourselves for bug spray. That's way less expensive than the bug spray we're buying at the store. We would need window cleaner. We just need vinegar, which, you can eat it and you can add it to your plain chips if you're a Frenchie. Because I heard that only French people put vinegar on their
oh no,
plain
I
chips.
love I love vinegar on my French
Oh,
fries. Is it French
uh,
fries you were saying to put
no,
vinegar on? What?
no, like plain chips.
Oh yeah, it's only French people, yeah.
Okay.
But but what's the difference if you get salt and vinegar chips? It's similar, right? Or
Yeah,
you put vinegar on your French fries. French
yeah,
fries and chips are basically the
it's
same thing,
potatoes.
just different form, right?
Right.
Oh, so funny. Let's check in, see who's joining us here. Nana is on
Cool.
YouTube. Good morning. Hope your viewers are having a great day. Same to you, Nana. Hope you're having a great day as well. Bob's chiming in right away. Don't believe anything uh, Nana Goat says. Okay, well, they're having a little back and forth chatter, joking around on the show. Great to see that. Good spirits today. Judy, good morning to you on Facebook. And good morning, Sudbury. That's Monique with a sunshine emoji. We're looking forward to the sun today and tomorrow. Estelle, good morning, Canada. A heart and a thumbs up emoji. Awesome. Marianne, good morning, everyone from Sunnyberry. It's not Drenched Berry these days. Liked and shared as usual. Good morning, Marianne. And Jerome, well, beautiful morning, y'all. Well, I'm expecting a lot of good morning and nicks after this as well, as they saw that you were coming on. Blessings, everyone, is Denise. Denise says beer, Epsom, Epsom salts, and hand picking slugs. Great morning. Oh, wow. That's an interesting morning for sure. Beer, Epsom salts, and hand picking slugs. You don't hear that every day.
No.
You don't say, oh, yeah, me too.
I thought maybe it was a concoction to get rid of the slugs.
That's what I was thinking, but I knew the comment came in before we started talking about natural products. So, but interesting seems to be that our viewers or listeners seem to be on the same frequency or something, like whatever we're going to be talking about in the day. Like yesterday, Vin came in. It was unfortunate that he was talking about his friend that chose to go through with MAID and how that was impacting him. But then we were going to be talking about a related story anyways, where Justin Trudeau is saying basically seniors need to get out of their homes because there's too much home and they don't need all that space, and you know what I mean? And
Did you share like the process, the information we found out about MAID? Did you share that yesterday?
Well, I spoke about it, but probably not using the term. So what I did, again, because I don't remember the names of the drugs or anything like that.
Right. But like literally you are frozen, you are paralyzed. So it looks like it's just horrible. Like people aren't aware. So someone's screaming and yelling inside their bodies.
Yeah.
Nobody's going peacefully. We're playing with God here. This is a dangerous thing.
Yeah. So you're giving a paralytic. So your body is now paralyzed, but you can still feel. So you just can't move. Like it would be different if you were numbed and paralyzed so that you couldn't feel things, but you're not. You're just paralyzed. Then they give you the drug to put you out or cross you over to the other side. And that's not a peaceful, serene thing. It actually, you drown in your own fluids. And and it's a long drowning. It's not a short one. So you drown for a long time. And so you're in, discomfort. But you can't say anything because you're paralyzed. Your mouth can't open. You can't say anything. You can't move your limbs. So anyways, people can look into that on their own and find the same information. So Miles is joining us. Good morning. As Justin tells United Nations yesterday that Canada cannot meet its obligations to them until 2032. You should just tell Justin Trudeau that in order to pay his share for NATO, it would affect climate change, and then he would up the ante a little bit. That's what he talked about. He talked about climate change at the NATO summit. That was one of the greatest security threats that we have is climate change.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's military, right? How is the military going to battle climate change? Now I guess people could say he made an argument for it, and that was maybe as the shipping lanes kind of open in, the Arctic, that then it creates a military concern because then you have foreign entities in our waters or whatever. So that you can make it claim, but he just kind of just matter of factly just said that, it was mainly other things he was talking about. But
they're talking about so much more in the world. They're talking about World War III. We're talking about Russia, China. We're talking about people invading. We're talking about people hijacking into our networks. We're going to talk about the weather.
Yeah, that's Justin Trudeau's main thing he was talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah. So just doesn't make any sense. And I'm just trying to find the video here as we continue here. I was talking about the boomers and that they have too many. So I found it. So that's good whenever we get to that stage in the show. But Miles is saying, Justin Trudeau told him, the United Nations that we can't meet our obligations. That's the whole thing that Trump had a problem with, that the United States was funding NATO the whole time and other countries weren't contributing. And I can see that point, right? Like he was going to stop contributing altogether and let NATO take a dive, no pun intended.
Huh.
But I can see why he was doing that. Belinda says, good morning. If your past calls, don't answer. So if your past calls you on your cell phone, don't answer. It has nothing new to say. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start from where you are and change the ending. Now,
I
isn't that
always love
profound?
Belinda's little
I know.
messages in the morning, and she is a consistent person.
Mm-hmm. Very,
This is
very, very.
awesome.
And right on par with what we're talking about usually, and
Yeah.
sets the tone. And it's true, get over yourself. It's okay. Get
Yeah.
over what people have done to you. Stop letting it affect you.
It
It's
happened.
Yeah, it's
Like,
only going to bring
what
you
did we
down.
learn from it? Let's move
Yeah,
on here. Let's like
learn.
focus on the good, the blessings that
Yeah,
we learned from it. How are
yeah.
we supposed to learn things if we don't go through things?
I think that's the thing. We play these tapes in our minds, right? Over and over, these messages that just keep getting repeated and repeated. We need to acknowledge that. This person did that to me. This person did that to me. This person did that to me. Okay. Like you said, you need to stop there and realize that you're constantly thinking about these things that are affecting you. First of all, you need to know that. And then you need to ask the question that you just said was, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
Now, okay, so it happened. What can I learn for the
Yeah.
future, like Belinda was saying, right? Because
Yeah.
you can affect your future, can't
How can
affect the
I
past.
exactly? How can I eliminate the opportunity of that happening again? Or
Exactly.
what are the warning signs that I may be entering in the same realm of issues?
Yeah.
I heard a researcher speak about this, and she says the first sign of depression is when you start talking about your problems over and over and over and over again. That is the first sign of depression. And then what happens is that you keep
Our new
talking about your
defense policy.
issues and with all your friends constantly all over all the time, then it becomes part of you. And then it
Yeah.
starts like pushing your energy down and you can't get out of it. And now it's literally giving you what you think like your identity. And then now
Mhm.
you're in a depression because all you think about is that.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. You have to be aware of your thoughts always,
Yeah.
because your
And
thoughts
you are
will
in
affect.
control of your thoughts.
I believe so.
Of
Like,
course.
yeah, a lot of times we make the excuse I can't change, or I can't stop the way I feel, or you know what I mean? I can't help
Yeah.
it. Because this was done to me. There's no way I could
Like the
look at this
victim
any other
mindset.
way. Yeah, exactly. But you can. We have the power to change the future, even if the future is just going on, or the present, what you're
Yeah.
thinking about at the time, and the present.
We have the opportunity. Everything in life is a choice. You have full agency. We can all choose how we want to show up, how we want to react, and what kind of life we want. We could focus on the negative and be in a negative space, but I could be sitting right next to you and having an amazing, blessed day. Why is that? It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And that's all our choice. We can have a victim mindset or a victor mindset. And I just know that nobody is ever successful or has a really peaceful, joyful life if they have a victim mindset.
Yeah. I like that, how you say be the victim or the victor. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty profound too, to go along with Belinda's profound statement. Now I'm wondering why, when I shared this video, hang on one second, that it said it couldn't be found.
Oh,
So let's see
the
if I can
fact
share
checkers
it.
didn't like it and just deleted it off the World Wide Web.
Something like that, but we're going to see if for some reason we can bypass the fact checkers. Might not be easy, but we're going to try it anyways. Okay. So Miles is also saying, which means he refuses to put more into our downgraded military. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since he's taken over, he has done very little for our military. That's what I mean. How could the guy even show up at this NATO thing and feel that people aren't like already knowing, what he's all about?
I know.
Like
Like,
he's got kahunas for that. You know what I mean? Like I gotta hand it to him.
like, yeah. Like, how do you live? Like, how do you, like,
I
for
don't
him,
know.
I would understand if he chose maid.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
But
All right.
everybody else, it's not worth it, guys.
Yeah,
It's
there
not
are a
worth
lot
it.
of people. A lot of people feel the same way or whatever. They're so upset at this government. They are. And one person came into my office one day, and his his spouse works for the RCMP and
Okay.
whatever. And he goes, if I saw Trudeau in the parking lot, I would accelerate and run him over. And he said it so the whole office could hear him. And I was like,
Right.
okay, well, I guess you're lucky because your spouse is an RCMP. Like, other than
Right.
that, I wouldn't be saying things like that really, really
It's
out loud.
true.
You know what I
But
mean?
I say that, but then you think about it, Aaron, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why he is the Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah,
There's a reason why he's destroying our country.
I guess.
Maybe people are going to revolt. Maybe that's when we need to shift once we all crash. Like, people don't change until we literally fully crash.
It's
And
true.
people like to just hide and stay in their little box. And maybe this is going to open people's eyes and realizing that there's just so much more going on into the world, that I truly believe that everything is happening for a reason. So maybe I should be grateful for him.
It's like being grateful for your challenges, right? Because
Yeah.
you can overcome them and build character and build strength and all these things. And again, I guess it's just because our society allowed it. So we're seeing what kind of things our society will put up with.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing how far things can go here. And we're like, wait a minute, were we that not on the ball? Were we that complacent?
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
were.
To allow these things to get where they're at now? Like, I
Well,
guess we just thought they would never happen. Oh, it would never
yeah.
happen here,
Well,
So,
just we're in Canada, and in schools, people don't have to stand up for the national anthem.
mhm.
Excuse me? Excuse me? You're in Canada. On Canada Day, people are saying Happy International Day. Excuse
Yeah.
me? No,
That's what
it's Canada Day.
that's what one of the viewers were saying in a comment on YouTube after one of the shows. Said they went to the Canada Day celebrations and heard a bunch of people saying Happy International Day to each other, kind of thing. And I don't know where that came from. I've never heard replacing Canada Day with Happy International Day myself, but yeah, it was something they were hearing quite a bit. And we all know that even the Canadian flag has taken on a whole other meaning now, right? Like, a lot of people look at it as a symbol of hate, because of the whole thing that happened with the protests that were going on in
You know
Ottawa.
what? You're right. Scentsy, one time, so during this whole thing that was happening, they had a warmer. It was a trailer and had Canadian flags around it. And they're like, we're gonna hold off on releasing this. And all Canadian consultants like, excuse me, it's Canada Day. We don't care what's going on. It's Canadian flag. How is this an image of what's going on? What world are we in? So if, like, yeah, you're right, Aaron. Right now, if a truck goes by with two big Canadian flags, you're thinking they're like, F you, Trudeau. Like,
Yeah,
that is just kind of mind blowing. Actually, you think about it, that's where we're at. That
yeah,
Canadian flag is like someone who's going against the government, but it's a Canadian flag.
yeah.
We're pro Canada. You guys are destroying our country.
Yeah, and we all know that because it's nationalism is being looked at almost like in the same vein as terrorism. So
Right.
it's the sad state of affairs that we're in. Liette, good morning from Collingwood. Uh, Marianne's okay. Yes, I can't tell when people are having conversations with each other on here. So I remember in the 80s when I was young and the air was so hot, even when you breathed it in and out, it was hot, even though cycles. So I guess the main gist of this is it was hot in the 80s as well. It's not just
Oh,
hot
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
And that's
It's
the
all a
whole idea
cycle.
with our weather and things like that. So yeah, we got some good morning and Nick's coming in. I knew that was going to happen.
Morning.
Yes, 5 years ago, temperatures were hotter than they are at present time.
Have you guys talked about, like, I think it's in Idaho, they are stopping them from using water, and
Yeah,
they're saying that there is a water outage, and the people are like, "Are you guys mad? The water has never been so high in history." And they're
yeah,
stopping. So it's just they're just trying to destroy our food. They're destroying everything, and it's a global thing. And
yeah,
I understand it trickles down into our cities, because if the top is corrupt, how can the bottom really survive?
yeah, exactly. And who's buying up all the land? You got a good chunk
Yeah.
of the U.S. being bought up by the big giant. I was just going to try not to say the name of the country, but the rival to the U.S. for world domination. So they're buying
Right.
up all the land, and then you have a philanthropist, Bill Gates, who's buying. Look up how much land he's been buying in the United
I
States, and he's
know.
not growing anything on it.
No, he's also making milk out of maggots.
Awesome, maggot milk. I could just
Milk,
see it
mag
now. Let's
yeah.
get the contract to market that. It's got a
And
great sound, right?
for a
Maggot
long
milk.
time, exactly, for a long time, people have been talking about how bugs are good because they're protein, and they are, but our stomachs can't actually digest them. But people didn't hear that message. So people are going to think like, "Oh, okay, this is way cheaper."
Hmm.
But it's kind of like the Teslas. I'm hearing a lot of people are starting to lose their hair. They
Yeah,
can't drive a Tesla.
because of the whatever is being emitted from the
You're like,
electrical.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
inside a Wi-Fi modem.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
natural. We
No.
have to go back in nature and sit by a tree and
Yeah.
feel that energy frequency. And I think that's going to open up our eyes to realize, like, holy, like, not only do we need to take care of our temple and not ingest toxins, we need to go back into nature.
So we can have a commercial for Tesla, right? Go bald, go Tesla,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Or something like that.
If we don't like you, we can just lock the door and drive you into a lake and you will drown.
Yeah, because of the GPS and all that. It's
Yeah.
all
And
like,
that
you know
has
what I mean? Like
happened.
craziness.
It's
I
actually
know.
happened.
And they light on
So who knows?
fire very easily too, I heard.
They do. And your insurance can go up if your garage is attached to your home.
Because of the more chance that that car can light on fire.
Yeah. I quit smoking 21 years ago, and
Yeah,
yet
that's
my throat's
Estelle.
still.
Yeah,
Estelle, so good that you quit smoking. That's
yeah,
so good. That is so hard for people to do. My dad has had 14 heart attacks, 12 strokes, and the guy still smokes his cigarettes, and it drives me insane.
yeah. And they were talking about the things, even though she quit smoking 21 years ago, she's still, um, you know,
Her throat.
yeah. But they're talking about the things they're spraying in the skies that are causing
Oh, yes.
it as well, right? So
The
crazy.
show was shared, Aaron, 14 times. This is
When?
awesome. You got some really amazing viewers.
Oh no, a lot of them share, and a lot of them can't share either, right? To certain things because they get
Right.
banned or I don't know what it is. They get
It's true.
stopped from sharing for some reason.
And a lot of people are on the radio
Yeah,
or watching on YouTube.
yeah, for sure. So no, it's great. No, the show we have a really great community that's been building right from day one, and it's getting bigger, and we really have really great conversations every day, and it is that it's a conversation with a group of people that are basically trying to find out and ask questions and hopefully influence the world for positivity. You know what I mean? To be a positive uh, influence in the world, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of things coming in because we were talking about natural remedies and things like that. And so I'm
Someone
gonna,
talked about coconut oil. Aaron, that's all I
yeah,
use for sunscreen. That's all I
yeah,
use on my baby is
yeah,
coconut oil.
yeah. Coconut oil for try it first. Anyways, use it, put it on your face if you have any kind of skin thing. There's other things too. It depends. Like there's homeopathic
Yeah.
products as well, natural.
Olive
There's
oil I heard is really good for
olive
skin.
oil. Mm-hmm.
I
So
didn't know
that's
that. I
true.
just found that out today.
Yeah, all kinds of natural things out there just blows your mind. Now, this is the thing that really blew my mind. When you burn your hand, I've shared this once or twice on the show. So you burn your hand, let's say on the stove. You hit the burner by accident, and it's really hot, like it's really sore. What would a person normally do right away after
Go
doing
put it
that?
under go put it under cold water.
That's right. Now, what if I told you that's the opposite of what you should do?
Everything I've learned seems like to be that way, Aaron. So the pattern just keeps going.
So, when I heard this at first, I was like, "Come on, you can't be serious." So the remedy to that, and now it can't be third degree burns and it's bubbling and your
Right.
skin's falling off. But if it's just a first degree burn or whatever, what most of us have if we touch the stove,
Right.
you keep the element on and you hold your hand over that element without touching it because you'll reburn it if you touch the element again.
Right.
but you go as close as you can stand without burning your hand for as long as you can stand it.
Hmm.
And then give it some time. Don't go, oh, right away, instant relief, but just watch and you'll notice it worked. And
Interesting.
it's called the law of similars. The thing
Ooh.
that harmed you is the thing that heals you.
Whoa.
Isn't that
That's
kind of
some
weird?
deep stuff right there. That makes sense.
Yeah, but again, this isn't a medical advice show.
Dude,
We
that is
aren't
so
medical
good. I need to
experts.
write this stuff down.
Okay.
Have you ever
can.
tried it?
Yeah, no, it works.
Wow.
I've tried it several times too. So let's say you burn your hand with the hot water. Heat is the thing. It doesn't mean you burn your hand with hot water. You need
Yeah.
to use hot water to heal it. But so if you burn it with heat, then heat will heal it. So you put your hand as close to something as hot as it can be for as long as you can stand it, and it will heal your burn. If it's not too bad, like it won't work if your body's on fire and your skin's falling off. Like that's not going to work in that case. So
All right.
you go to the hospital.
Right.
But yeah. So let's check in with some of the stories I just wanted to get to here. There's a couple local stories, and that's all coming from our Sudbury.news website, which is a local news aggregator. So there's a few beaches. Every year they say it's dangerous to go to some of our beaches because of bacteria or
Yeah.
blue-green algae or whatever. So Sudbury Star's got a story about it's not a good idea to go to these particular beaches in the Sudbury area. So going into the water when bacteria are present in high concentrations puts bathers at risk of infections. So it's from the health unit. A warning's gone out. So if you're interested you want to go to the beach, check out the Sudbury Star today, or go to our website, click on that story, find out which beaches are a problem. And there's the one story I wanted to get to, the Lively Ski Hill. They're going to be closing it. It seems like they're doing a lot of that lately, right? For some reason, like
I didn't even know Lively had a ski hill.
yeah, no, it's a really great ski hill for sure. And
Are we-
it looks like we're only going to have the one. We're only going to have the one downtown there, or New Sudbury, Adonai,
Wow.
and we won't have any of the others. But this is David Kurt. He is a local real estate agent. I'll just get it up on the screen here. And he's with his family there, and picture of them at the Lively Ski Hill. He lives in Lively, so within its first day, they've put out a petition. More than 1,100 people have already signed an online petition calling on the city to keep the Lively Ski Hill open.
Wow. Good job, people.
Yeah. So the Hill petition, led by David Kurt, wrote, "It's a treasured community asset that promotes winter recreation to not just the locals of Lively, but also visitors from across Greater Sudbury."
Yeah.
So the councilor is backing it up, and they got tons of signatures. So obviously you want to head on over, just Google the petition, find that, and support that. Keep the Lively Ski Hill open.
What is that nominate someone special button that I saw on the screen there?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let's see here. It's gone.
Oh, maybe
Not
we
on
can all
screen
go
anymore.
nominate Aaron for this hard work that he does with this show.
Oh, I don't know. If it's Sudbury.com, it would be a conflict of interest kind of thing,
Well,
possibly.
Aaron Walsh. Your name's
Even
Aaron
that.
Walsh.
Even that, they would know who that is.
That's true.
It's like nominating the editor of the Sudbury Star for Sudbury.com. They probably wouldn't really, not that I'm putting myself in the same category,
Yeah.
but good morning, Vin. Thanks for being on, my friend. We were just talking about the conversation we were having on the show that you had started yesterday that basically went in with the whole show. So, and Sheila, good morning to you as well. Yeah, there's all kinds of harms out there. You're saying radiation is rampant. That's kind of what we're experiencing in the Teslas, is what you were alluding to, Nick, I think.
Yep.
So talking about the Lively Ski Hill closure, also the Beaver Lake Fire Hall, they're going to be closing that down. Remember they were doing looking into all the different emergency services across
Yeah.
the Sudbury area? Well, part of that study, I guess they weren't able to get enough volunteer firefighters, which was one of the prerequisites to keeping it open, and they weren't able to do that, and they're closing. And Beaver Lake residents are very upset, as you can imagine. And we're going to have a huge proponent of that cause on the show in a week or so, or next week. Billy's going to arrange that interview.
Cool.
A mover and a shaker from the Beaver Lake area to come on and plead the case, so to speak, even though it looks like a pretty done deal that's going to be closing.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of closing.
Yeah,
and it's all outdoor things, actually. The things that we're talking about, it's all outdoors.
Yeah. And things that cost money, and so are taxed. So I guess the way that people are viewing this is that our city was $40 million in debt, 3-4 years ago. And now with the new legacy projects with the library, almost $100 million to construct, the $200 million plus that'll turn into $400 million arena, the city will be in $600 million debt, going from $40 million.
But the economy is going to crash, and money's not even going to have value anymore. And then we'll be a global market. Can't they just print more money? I don't, no, I know
that causes inflation, but yeah.
No, you're right. I know that's kind of a stupid comment.
I know, but that's the way they're looking at it. That's the way they're looking at it. Yeah, it's true.
But how did we get here in the first place? They're not. Where are they spending their money? We know that they're wasting their money everywhere. They're not showcasing where they're spending their money. They're not being what's the word I'm looking for?
Fiscally responsible?
Like showing you, being
transparent.
Mm-hmm. So it's just really the Lively Hill. How much money does that really cost? And here's the thing: they get contractors, they're buddies, so it's all intertwined. So a local guy would do the work for way less money. So everyone's just taking advantage of everybody, and then what happens is that it just collapses.
Yeah, that's where we've gotten to, 100%. I was even thinking, can you imagine I had the ability to charge a penny on everything that was sold in Canada, and it all came to me, and I was able to do that? It wouldn't affect anybody. It really wouldn't affect you. It wouldn't affect a penny on everything you buy. So you go get your gas, instead of $90, it's $90.01.
You'd be a millionaire overnight.
I'd be a millionaire overnight. But I don't have the ability to do that. You don't have the ability to do that. But guess who has the ability to do that?
Yeah.
The government.
Yeah.
They can just, just charge a little bit extra on everything and collect trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
But then what are you doing with that money? Really, honestly, what are you doing?
They're not really telling us.
No, it's man,
we're sending it to the weather. We're combating the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What, you're going to create technology, which technology is not even good for the weather anyway. What is your plan here? You're planting more trees. What is your goal?
Well, Justin Trudeau will tell us right now, because that's a good segue.
Okay.
Let's see what Justin Trudeau is telling us the most egregious predator is to us as a nation and as a world.
Rising sea levels and increasingly frequent and intense natural disasters threaten security infrastructure like ports and military bases that keep our alliance safe. A warming Arctic is opening up a new arena of competition that our adversaries are eager to exploit, and climate-induced floods, famines, and droughts exacerbate inequality, fuel conflict, and drive displacement across the globe, all of which disproportionately harm marginalized and vulnerable populations. Overall, climate change risks creating a less stable, less prosperous, and less secure world. That is why we acted. Back home, our government has shown global leadership in addressing the climate crisis. We've placed a price on pollution that simultaneously reduces our emissions and puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians. We launched Canada's first national adaptation strategy to build stronger and more resilient communities. We became the first major oil-producing nation to introduce a cap on emissions from the oil and gas sector. And we're creating hundreds of thousands of good-paying, sustainable jobs from coast to coast to coast with our $160 billion investment in our net zero economic plan and green industrial strategy.
So look how good Canada's doing.
You
You
know, if you couldn't distinguish between, or what's the word? Like my first word was like, if you're an idiot, you can believe what he's saying because it sounds good. Like
Oh,
it
yeah,
actually
no.
sounds good. But if you're really hearing what he's saying,
Yeah.
and you can,
You think everything's
you will
going great.
see,
Look at Canada.
yeah,
We're a leader. We're doing all these things. And it's, wow, you wouldn't,
and it, and only
you,
people who are under a certain amount of income get that climate change. I thought, I'm not sure,
well,
but
it's been debunked already that most Canadians make more money off the climate tax. It's a tax.
like
Like how
obviously,
dumb do you think people are when you tax them and say you're making more off our tax than you're paying? They wouldn't have it if that was the case. Like how is that
no.
really helping the climate then? So, wow, you're paying people with this climate money. You should be helping the climate. Why are you paying people? 80% of people make more money with their rebates. Why are you using the climate money that's supposed to go to be saving climate to get paying off people with it? What are you doing that for? Like what is
Because
that? How is that helping
we
the
are
climate?
having natural disasters, but it's not because of our weather. It's because of weather manipulation. That's why it's happening. What are you spraying in the air? And people are just like still not believing that the chemtrails are real, but there's chemtrails that are illegal in certain states. How can you make
Mhm.
something illegal if it doesn't exist? You don't
Right.
think that has an effect on our weather? You can go to that really big Saudi Arabia. I think it was
Yeah.
in Saudi Arabia. They had a massive flood, and because they are playing with Mother Nature. It's mind blowing. So, yes, those things are happening. But then he's saying, so if you can't discern through his information, you're going to be like, oh, wow, this is great. He is really helping us. Like the Antarctica, that this has happened before. We're just in different cycles. And you shared videos of researchers sharing that, no, this is
Mhm.
all a scam. We're
Mhm.
being scammed.
Yeah, when I heard
Okay.
yeah, when a scientist say the science is settled, you know it's a scam. There were scientists
Right.
saying that because science
Mm.
is never settled. So you know there's something up if they're saying the science is settled, right? So that was Justin Trudeau at the NATO conference or whatever. I believe it was in the
So
United States in
proud.
Washington, right? So he just goes in there and he's it's like his religion. It's like he's the pope of climate change kind of thing. That's what he
Yeah.
is. And that's what he's going to talk about no matter where he goes. Or he's the pope of a lot of ideologies, very far left extremist ideologies. He's the pope of that. So he always goes around teaching and preaching that. That's what he's doing. He's preaching to people basically. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you've saw this. So that's one leader, and that's what they talk about. Now Biden is a whole other story, right? So everyone's questioning his mental capacity and things like that.
All of a sudden, Aaron,
All of a
all of a
sudden,
sudden,
like
where have they been?
like he was like that even before he ran in like he did the campaign from the basement because he wasn't didn't have enough energy to go out and campaign, and he got
And
more
people,
votes than anyone in U.S. history for president.
yeah,
How does that even
sure,
happen?
sure. That
You
doesn't
know?
happen. That was all a scam. But it's so
Oh, for
funny when I
sure.
talk about it, people, when I would like talk negatively about it, people would be like, be nice.
Because he's
Be
an old
nice.
man. Yeah,
He's
you
an
don't want
old
to put
man.
down an
Yeah,
old
not a
man.
man that should be the president of the United States,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
our sibling, our older
Yeah,
brother. Everything he does affects Canada.
yeah, 100%.
All those immigrants are coming up north. They can just
Hmm.
now just drive up north. Just get on a bus. Just come up here.
And they are, and that's what's happening too, right?
Yeah,
So
like
yeah, so it does
yeah.
affect us, like you're saying. So he's the leader of the free world, and so this is what he had to say at the conference, and it's really
That
interesting. I got this from my brother-in-law, and I wasn't sure if this was AI or not because it's so blatant.
bad.
So he's asked about if Kamala Harris would be, you know, competent enough. Would he feel if she had to take his place, would she do a good job? And this is what his answer was.
What concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one.
Yeah, let's start there. Number one.
Okay, so his question was confusing because he was talking about a man, but then said she. Like,
Well, no. So you didn't hear what he said. So let's listen to it again. He was asked, "What do you think Kamala Harris's chances as vice president if she was to
Harris.
be president?"
Yes.
But then did you hear what he said? So,
Yeah, Trump.
What
So let's-
concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
You know
Look,
what? I've never.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
So funny. I've never heard people just call her Harris. I've
Vice-
always heard people call her Camilla Harris
Kamala
or
Harris.
Camilla.
So
I
Vice
didn't know her
President
last name.
Harris. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You usually hear her whole name, not just her last
Yeah.
name.
Because that sounds like a man, just Vice President Harris.
Yeah,
But
I know.
that's hilarious. I saw that clip on Instagram. It is hilarious. So it's just like, oh, are you telling us something? Is Trump the next president? Is that who you guys have chose?
I
'Cause-
don't know. It's just that's just again. Does that show his mental capacity? And then there was this one too, right? So he goes to introduce Vladimir Zelensky, but he calls him Putin. Now that's a real Freudian slip, if you ask me. So watch this one.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President,
Wow.
you are a hell of a lot better.
All right, so there he is. He's introducing President Zelensky as President Putin.
That's hilarious.
I know but again, these are things that you and I have seen
Yes.
for 4 years, and just wondering why people haven't
want
because it hasn't been where
Yeah. On the news.
on mainstream media. That's all.
Yes.
Like we've been.
But
seeing
everyone else has been seeing it. But it's funny how the news are just like, oh, whoa, he
What
looks
happened
like
to
he has
this guy?
Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't be running. We should pull
Yeah.
him out of the presidency.
Yeah.
And it's just like, aren't you guys the news? Aren't you guys supposed to be sharing the truth? Oh, you're not. Oh, okay. Oh, now your agenda's changing. Oh, now you need to share the fact that he has Alzheimer's so that you guys can pull him off because you guys have a different plan. You know?
The whole time he was president, it was very much like a movie that you may not have even seen back in the 80s called A Weekend at Bernie's. So the whole, do you remember that movie? Have you seen it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where this guy, he's really well to do and these teenagers go to this party and it's such a good party, but the guy dies. And in order to keep the party going or keep their, enjoying what
Lifestyle.
they're enjoying, they
Yep.
have to pretend he's alive.
Right.
And so they're always bringing him around and propping him up in different places. And I remember one scene in a boat where they're driving by and they take his hand and they're waving for him to everyone else. And again, that's what I even looks like the character to some degree.
I know.
And that's what I've always looked at this presidency as being. Like or dislike or hate or love Donald Trump.
It's true.
That's what this last 4 years has looked like to me, regardless. So,
And it's just mind blowing that you can't find a different candidate. Like, what is going on? And then I found out that they haven't really chosen their candidates. And I'm like, aren't we pretty close to the finish line? Like, how haven't you guys picked a candidate?
yeah, I know. Well, that's just the American system, and things are changing a little bit too down there. Like they had this.
I don't think there's going to be an election. I don't even think it's going to happen, Aaron.
Well, if war breaks out, they can enact, something. They have a law or whatever down there that says, if they're at war, then they
How
can postpone
convenient.
the election, and Biden would just continue to be in there, or his replacement, if he has
Right.
a replacement, will be in there without even being elected. Can you imagine that? Now imagine
that's
that. So
crazy.
let's say they replace him before the election, and then a war breaks out. Let's say World War III or something like onto it. This person can be in there for however long without even being elected by the people. So that's a crazy scenario.
That is
Anyways.
a crazy scenario.
And that's all the time we got for the show. That's even more crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I think we got to leave it there, Nick. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay Sensi convention down in Orlando. And for anyone who wants to know more about that, you shared it in the comments, and they can get involved as well. And maybe at some point they can
earn a trip with me.
That's right.
Because we're gonna find out when's our next incentive trip, and we're gonna need some help for my next incentive trip because it's gonna be really hard. So maybe the viewers, if you guys are looking for Scentsy, I could be your Scentsy girl. And then I mail you Scentsy goodies and samples every other month. So there's perks when you choose me to be your Scentsy rep.
And you get to hang out with the Nick, which is awesome too. Okay,
well,
thank you. And have a great weekend, and have a great weekend, everyone. And thanks for liking and sharing the show. We really appreciate that, and commenting and having a conversation with us today. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM. Ciao.
Ciao.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.